This is the colony of Newlandia.
Yay!
Okay, Newlandia is located right off the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. It's right on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. And the Savannah River is right along the sides here, which feeds off to the Atlantic Ocean. So it's easy access to water, both salt and fresh. Okay, they have a couple different structures here. The first one I would like to address is the houses. Notice the thatched roofs and the low heights. And each garden has an amount of shrubbery on the side, which is their somewhat like an individual garden based on what they wanted to plant. Like here we have some tomato plants, some more, and some berries on the side. So yes. Another one I would like to address is the schoolhouse. And since there were not many children coming here to begin with, there's only one school. And most girls weren't allowed to go to school at the time anyway, but that's what we would like to change in Newlandia, because we would like all the children to have equal rights, I guess, to go to school. Here's the theater, which is vibrantly colored blue because the theater is the most outgoing and loud place in the town for arts. So the Yamakra helped them create blue paint, which they painted the theater structure. And it has a bit of shrubbery at the top here, some wildflowers. Right here's the forge, which would be a very important piece of land for defense, because here's where the blacksmith would create all of the different swords and guns and hammers and sludges that could be used for defense. Here's the trading post, which is very conveniently located right next to the river, so easy access. Say if something had to be shipped from one side of the river to the other, you could do that because it's right here. And we have a couple boats in structure. Here is the town garden, which is open to all Yamakra and colonists, because the Yamakra gave them different methods for planting, so they said the garden was welcome to everybody. And it has just about every essential thing here. They have the new crop of corn, some beans, some squash, berries, spices that were found here, you know, just things that are really helpful to their everyday life. Here's a barn, and the barn has on the top an adjustable roof, which they hold thatch and hay in, which can be used for feeding the animals or creating the tops of the houses. And it's very convenient that the roof is adjustable, because then they can raise it or lower it if whether or not they add or gain hay. Here's the doctor's office, which around his office have many pharmaceutical plants, which would be very helpful, especially since in the near future smallpox will become a problem with the Native Americans. Here is the church. The church is open as a general place of worship. It has different services, but not one set religion. So say, for example, the Catholic Church in Europe is a big deal. Is a big deal. Well, here it's just a general place of worship, and they can enter through here, and it's open all day, every day of the week. Okay, there are many different types of people living in Newlandia. A main tribe known as the Yamakra Indians, associated, very friendly with the colonists. They're led by the chief, who goes by the name Tamachichi, and James Oglethorpe, who was the leader of the colonists. General animals here, such as pigs, chickens, roaming foxes, deer, and bear are located here. As you can see, this deer died. Yes. And this is just an overview of Newlandia. Oh, the town square is located, of course, in the center of the town. And the way we did it was all of the roads lead to either into the town square, or if you're going out, then it leads in every direction. But everything is conveniently located around the town square, because that's where most of the people spent their time, you know, having meetings and stuff. So James Oglethorpe would live in this very top sector right here, since he was the only trustee to ever set foot in Georgia. And then in the center is where the main meetings are held. just to, you know, go over any rules, any generalizations that people might be misconcepted on. Yeah, and then the prisoners would live in the bottom. There was a big deal of defense when the colony was created. So we have some cavalry located here, a cannon which is conveniently located to the outside of the colony because the Spanish were a big threat to them, and the Spanish could have attacked on any of these corners or near the Atlantic Ocean. So that's where they had most of their defense. Also, there are Native Americans and colonists who would combine, as you can see, even though this man is trying to kill the chicken, who could help defend the colony. We have a couple different canoes built by the Native Americans, and the ship Anne, which first brought the colonists here, is now leaving to go back to England. And this is the overview of Newlandia. So,
Yay!
Yes.